Hello, everybody. This is Eddie Nunning from midiguitarist, and I welcome you to the fifth and final round of our video series about great use cases for the Boss GM-800. And this song has three parts, basically, three keyboard parts for that matter, and I'll walk you through the three parts you would have to be able to play in order to play it in a band live situation. So here's the intro and the first part. And here's the second part. The third part, finally, that's a real bummer because it's nearly impossible to play on a guitar, but I tried it anyway to show you that you could eventually become a band's keyboard player. So here we go. Well, here comes use case number 9 for the Boss GM, and that would be to orchestrate tunes you normally play on the guitar, or, as I'll show later, you play with the guitar and you want to add something, and you can use the sounds in the GM to your advantage. I came up with this idea because a lot of students of mine played all these classical pieces from Kakasi Kahuli, and they all sound to me like musical boxes. And so forth. You get the idea. And I thought this might be quite interesting for students to actually hear these tunes with this celesta or musical box sound in order to get the proper feeling for the tune. So I chose a tune, a very well-known tune by Francisco Tarrega called LAGRIMA, Tears, and I play it on the MIDI guitar, and I hope you like it. Now the second way of orchestrating with the GM together with the guitar would be to combine the sounds, and this is a bit reminiscent of the second video where I showed you hybrid timbre, and this is something similar, but it's different in the way that this part I'm about to show you wouldn't really function with the synth on its own or with the guitar on its own. So it's not just embellishment, but it's a real necessity to sort of merge them together. And I'm talking about a song by a very popular band of the 60s from Liverpool. And they had this fabulous producer, George Martin, who wrote classical arrangements for them. And there's this one song where they have this wonderful string quartet. And I worked that out for a guitar. So the beginning would sound just on the guitar, something like this. And so forth. And I thought, well, this sounds similar enough to the original, but it misses the feeling, and especially in the further development of the tune, it misses the sustained notes of the string quartet. So I'll play the beginning again with the quartet sound. So you see, especially in the further development, it's quite a difference. So I'll play an excerpt from it, and there'll be a later video where I play the whole arrangement and sing to it, so you get what it's all about. Always save the best for the last, and the last for me is to use the GM as the heart of a synth setup with a computer and an audio interface. I'll show you what I mean. You take the outputs, the USB out of the GM, combine it preferably with a laptop or whatever, but laptop is great if you want to go gigging live. And you need an audio interface, preferably at least with 4 inputs. I've got an ULN-8, which is an 8-channel interface by Metric Halo, and this is the mixer that comes with it. What interests us in this scenario is just the left side of this mixer scenario. So you've got here the 2 analog inputs or outputs from the GM that run into this mixer, and you've got this host. It could be called DAW out or whatever in other mixes you get with the audio interfaces. And here I have plugged in a live host for VSTs and other plugins, which is called Gig Performer. And that's quite a wonderful program for live performing, a bit comparable to Propellerhead Reason. So you can get MIDI in, which is the MIDI from the GM, and combine it with virtual instruments, which you can then run through plugins, virtual mixers, and so forth. You combine all this together in your mixer I showed you before. So what goes out here goes into host, and is summed in the main. So you mix your virtual sounds from the GM, from the analog, and with the virtual sounds you get from Gig Performer. I'll just show you what I've chosen. I'll open up Contact, and I've got this lovely piano called the Giant, which is really this gigantic. It was built in Berlin, I think, and was sampled there, I think by Native Instruments. And the special thing about this piano is not only that it's very huge, but it has only got one string per note and sounds very clean and clear. I'll just show you. So if I combine that with the Celesta, I've got a sound which is not achievable alone with the GM or with Gig Performer. So you get the best of both worlds and merge it inside your audio interface. So I'll just play an excerpt from LAGRIMA again. So you see, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are thousands of sounds you can combine, obviously, and use them like a color palette, like a painter. This is where it really begins to get interesting and fun, to get inspiring sounds that lead you to places you've never been before. I'll just play around with this sound I just showed you. So here we are at the end of the 10 use cases I promised you and showed you in these 5 videos. If you liked it, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Then you'll be informed when the other videos I'm preparing will be released. They'll be showcasing stuff where I play and sing. There'll be how-to videos where I'll show you how I did the stuff I'm doing here. And there'll be instructional videos about learning the notes on your fretboard, how chords are constructed and how you can combine them musically. And, well, 1,000 things to come. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.